What is up? What is up, YouTube? How y'all doing, man? I don't have the headphones on. I think y'all can hear me. Yeah, what's up? Dude, what are we thinking, man? Well, since it's on my mind, I might as well say it. Right? Spit it out. Don't get mad at me for doing me, and I won't help you do you. I like to help people, but Jesus, dude, I can't. Oh, man. Almost an hour on the phone. I said, we not getting anywhere because you ain't over here. Don't even watch my videos, man. So I could say the person's name and everything. Don't even watch my videos and everything, but you want something from me. And what you trying to give me, I don't even want. I don't even need. In return, stop being so cheap, man. Man, I ain't got the money. Well, find a way to find the money. Because what you asking me to do is do a miracle for you. I can't even do a miracle for myself. Anyway, shout out to my team, man. Y'all, hey, if y'all Jay-Z screams as judge dropped DNA proof that destroys his marriage forever. Fuck out of here, man. With these titles, dude. All right. Somebody sent me this video, man. Want me to do this video, and I appreciate it, man. Shout out to all the subscribers. Shout out to everybody that's checking out the videos and all that good stuff. Let me see what we're going to... I don't think the judge dropped some DNA proof on Jay-Z. That's just my opinion. Allegedly, I could be wrong. Hit that subscribe button. Hit that bell. Let's check this bad boy out.
If I gotta fight for all of us, I will. But I won't let the court systems just walk over me. I won't let Jay-Z I won't let no one just walk over me and tell me something because y'all just saying this. I want the truth. And if we can't go to the Supreme Courts, the regular courts, to find out the truth, what are they here for?
Yeah, all right. We'll get to the legal things that you've been through, the battles.
The courtroom was thick with tension, the kind of silence that hums in your ears before something unthinkable happens. We watched as the judge read the results aloud, the words slicing through the air like a blade. DNA confirmed what Jay-Z had spent years fighting to keep hidden. He is the father of Rymir Satterthwaite. The gasps from the gallery weren't polite little whispers. They were guttural, sharp shocks of disbelief, like the entire room had been punched in the chest. And there he was, the billionaire mogul, the man who once stood as the untouchable architect of Rock Nation.
Is this true? I don't even think he took the DNA test yet. Let's just keep going.
Slamming his fists against the table, his voice breaking as he tried to shout down the inevitable. In that moment, Jay-Z was no longer the icon who seemed immune to scandal. He was a man cornered, stripped bare by the truth he swore would never surface.
I don't have no felonies. I'm not crazy and none of that. It's like, I just want the truth, and it's so hard to get it from the courts. And it seems like Jay-Z don't want to say anything. So, I don't want to see him go down for something that, you could have just got taken care of. That's it.
We've seen power players sweat under pressure, but never like this. Jay-Z's empire was built on an image of control, of sharp suits and sharper moves, of a mastermind always 3 steps ahead. But as his face twisted with rage and panic, that illusion shattered in real time. For years, his legal team had maneuvered like a fortress around him, hiding behind sealed files, procedural delays, and carefully crafted public statements. Every time Rymir's name resurfaced, it was brushed off as a nuisance, a sideshow to be silenced. Yet with a single announcement, all those defenses crumbled. He couldn't lean on another verse, another carefully staged photo op, another multi-million-dollar partnership. The secret he buried was now the headline, and the audience, once his adoring fans, was now a jury of millions. The most staggering part wasn't just that the truth finally came out, but what it did to the myth of invincibility Jay-Z and Beyonce had cultivated. For more than a decade, they've styled themselves as music's royal family, the Carters, who could do no wrong. But the cracks had been there, hairline fractures that insiders whispered about, the cheating confessions wrapped into an album cycle, the elevator fight that became a meme before it became an explanation. And now this, a hidden son exposed before the world, dragging everything else they worked so hard to project into question. If he could lie about this for so long, what else has been concealed behind the velvet curtain?
Jay-Z got his ass whooped by his sister-in-law on camera. What's her name? Solange. You got his ass. The feds ain't step in and do nothing.
Damn.
The feds don't care about you getting your ass whooped.
Damn, Gene. Gene saying he got his A whoop. Gene, it was the bodyguard stepped in here. I don't think that's considered an ass whooping. I have seen some ass whoopings, and I swear to God, they was way worse than that. Male on male, female on female, or vice versa. Here we go,
We can't ignore the whispers about Beyonce's reaction either. Multiple insiders claim she wasn't blindsided by the revelation. She had known quietly for years. The story goes that she demanded silence, insisting that as long as the matter stayed in the shadows, they could carry on as the unbreakable duo. Protect the children, protect the brand, protect the billions. But silence comes at a cost. And once the gavel brought it all crashing down, sources say Beyonce made her stance brutally clear. Fix this mess or risk losing everything, including her. That's not just a marital spat. That's a nuclear ultimatum, one that threatens the very foundation of the most famous union in music. And while the ink on the DNA report was still drying, more troubling rumors started swirling. A former Roc Nation employee, someone who had allegedly been close enough to the inner circle to see the secrets money was supposed to bury, whispered about another skeleton, Latasha Mazer. If Rymir's existence toppled Jay-Z's defense, then Latasha's story could detonate what's left of his legacy. She is a 28-year-old woman from Maryland who has been saying for years that Jay-Z is her father. On Instagram, she even branded herself Jay-Z first daughter, writing, "I've been quiet for far too long," and laying out how everyone in her hometown knew the truth of her parentage. Family members even backed her up, with her own sister publicly claiming she personally introduced Jay-Z to Latisha's mother. This wasn't some anonymous online rumor. It was flesh and blood testimony.
Weirdo.
Weirdo.
What you got in your head, that neural link. You'll never outthink me. Ever.
The allegations don't stop at claims of paternity. Industry chatter insists that Jay-Z quietly supports her behind the scenes, that he even purchased a house in Cambridge, Maryland for her to live in, with the catch being that she could never acknowledge him publicly. A deal written not in contracts, but in silence, sealed with monthly payments rather than DNA results. One former friend of Jay-Z, the singer Oshino from State Prop.
Well, why do all this? Because I don't understand why would you try to cover up that you got a kid out here? I mean, that sound more gangster to me. Oh my God. None of this stuff is making sense to me, man.
Could never acknowledge him publicly. A deal written not in contracts, but in silence, sealed with monthly payments rather than DNA results. One former friend of Jay-Z, the singer Oshino from State Property, has gone on record suggesting this arrangement exists, painting a picture of a mogul who manages his secrets, not by confronting them, but by keeping them on retainer. If true, this would suggest a pattern. An empire not built on honesty, but on payoffs and cover-ups. It's impossible not to wonder, how far back do these deceptions go? We've seen Jay-Z fire back in legal filings accusing Rymir's camp of harassment, of waging a decades-long campaign to disrupt his life. We've seen him deny, deflect, and even mock the claims in his lyrics, likening himself to Michael Jackson with the line, "The kid ain't mine." But bravado in a song doesn't hold up in federal court, and when the papers were read this time, he couldn't rap his way out. If Rymir was the first domino, then Latasha threatens to topple the entire line. And looming over all of it is Beyonce's reputation. If she stood by him while he suppressed the truth, then her silence becomes complicity, and her carefully maintained aura of empowerment curdles into something far darker.
I got older and my mom just continued to say the same thing, and she never changed the name. Like, she always was staying with the same name. I'm like, well, Mom, why? Like, as I got to 16, 17, I'm like, Mom, you've been saying this since I was a kid. So it's like, now my mom never lied to me, so why not believe?
The betrayal cuts deeper because Jay-Z has always positioned himself as a voice of authenticity, a man who rose from Brooklyn's Marcy projects to billionaire status through raw talent and relentless drive. But authenticity doesn't survive when your personal life reads like a sealed court docket. Fans are questioning how much of his success was earned and how much was protected by expensive lawyers and PR maneuver. The same fans who once chanted his lyrics now scroll through Latisha's posts, comparing her features to his, shaking their heads at the uncanny resemblance. It isn't just the courtroom drama, it's the mirror staring back at him. undeniable proof that the truth has a face. And this isn't happening in a vacuum. Jay-Z's name is already entangled in the darker shadows of the industry, drawn into lawsuits linking him to scandals surrounding other high-profile figures. Every headline chips away at the myth of the unshakable mogul. With Rymir's DNA confirmation setting the stage, Beyonce's alleged ultimatum tightening the noose, and Latesha's story resurfacing with new force, the question isn't whether Jay-Z can survive the scandal. It's whether there's anything left of the empire once all the hidden truths step into the light.
Oh, no, that was it. No, when I get nervous, I tell the truth.
For years, Jay-Z has presented himself as more than a rapper. He has styled himself as a mogul, a visionary, a voice of reason in an industry addicted to chaos. He stood next to politicians, funded scholarships, spoke about justice and responsibility. He became a symbol of what it meant to rise above circumstances. A man who seemed to embody progress. But when we strip away the speeches, the philanthropy, and the well-polished interviews, the contradiction is jarring. How can the same man who urges transparency in others refuse for over a decade to take a simple DNA test? How can someone who raps about loyalty and family values turn away from blood relations that mirror his face? That hypocrisy is now burning through his image faster than any lyric or speech can extinguish. We must not underestimate the damage this does to his carefully curated legacy. Every interview he's given about being a role model, every verse where he framed himself as a leader for his community, now sounds like a double-edged sword. Fans who once applauded him for being a beacon of responsibility are left shaking their heads. The betrayal isn't just about hidden familyhood, it's about selling an idea of truth and accountability while refusing to practice it. Even casual listeners are asking, if he's been lying about this, what else has been smoke and mirrors all along?
Beyonce for sure. I love her. I love Beyonce. Jay-Z too, I really admire the both of them.
And then comes the ripple effect. The Carter empire isn't just built on music. It's a billion-dollar brand stretching across streaming, fashion, endorsements, philanthropy, and public image. Together, Jay-Z and Beyonce have been packaged as a modern-day dynasty, untouchable in their influence. But when one side of the partnership cracks, the other feels the tremors. Beyonce's silence has been deafening, and silence can sometimes be louder than words. Fans speculate behind every Instagram caption, every red carpet smile, wondering if the Queen Bee is furious behind the scenes. Is this the beginning of an unraveling marriage, one that could destroy not just their union, but the business empire they rule together? Let's not forget the sheer scale of what's at risk. Ivy Park isn't just a clothing line. It's a multi-million-dollar brand tied to partnerships with some of the world's biggest companies. Roc Nation isn't just a label. It manages careers, sports contracts, and global campaigns. Their combined brand equity is astronomical, and it all relies on one thing, a spotless image. If that image disintegrates, the fallout doesn't stop at headlines. It spreads into boardrooms, endorsements, partnerships. The empire that once looked untouchable suddenly looks fragile. And in a marketplace where reputation is everything, fragility is devastating.
After they are done with Diddy, Jay-Z is up next to be exposed.
And as the fire burns hotter, new oxygen keeps feeding it. The question fans are whispering now is chilling in its simplicity. Is this just the beginning? We've already heard from Letitia Macer, the woman from Maryland who insists Jay-Z is her father, supported by family accounts that tie their histories together. Whispers of hush arrangements, secret homes, quiet financial support. It all suggests this may not be a one-off scandal, but a pattern. If Rymir's courtroom confirmation is the first domino, Letitia might be the second, and who knows how many more are lined up behind them. It doesn't take long for the rumor mill to spin faster. Old lyrics are being dissected like confessions in plain sight. Old interviews are being replayed, fans pointing out what now feel like cryptic evasions. The rap line, where he scoffs, "The kid ain't mine," suddenly feels less like bravado and more like desperation. Former associates are speaking more freely, connecting timelines, hinting at stories that could surface at any moment. Every skeleton in Jay-Z's past is being dragged back into the light, and with the momentum of this scandal, each one feels like it could be the next big headline.
The plane crash that killed a rising star in the world of music and film. Reaction today after Aaliyah and 8 others were killed when their plane went down.
The danger here isn't just reputational, it's historical. Jay-Z has spent decades building himself as a cultural icon, an architect of hip-hop's business revolution, a man who transformed street credibility into corporate boardrooms. But legacies can crumble overnight. We've seen it happen to moguls who seemed untouchable, only for one scandal to erase decades of work. If the narrative shifts from visionary leader to serial deceiver, the erasure won't just stain his music, it will stain the entire myth of Jay-Z, the figure who once claimed to be bigger than hip-hop itself. And yet, the world waits for Beyonce. She has the power to either stabilize or collapse the dynasty. If she stands beside him, she risks becoming entangled in the scandal, accused of complicity through silence. If she turns against him, It signals that even she, the woman who has weathered his betrayals before, has reached her breaking point. Industry insiders whisper that her ultimatum is already on the table, that her tolerance has run out, that the fate of their marriage is hanging by a thread. Imagine the fallout if the most powerful couple in music were to split under this cloud. Every endorsement, every tour, every dollar tied to the Carter name could be shaken.
Beyonce and Jay-Z will do anything to destroy anyone who speaks out against them. Okay, I get the threats.
And so we arrive at the chilling reality. This is no longer just about one courtroom scene or one DNA test. This is about the slow unmasking of power, the unraveling of a story that was too carefully controlled for too long. Every new allegation feeds the storm. Every insider account fuels suspicion, and every moment of silence from the Carters themselves makes the world wonder. What else is lurking in the shadow? If one secret child can undo a billion-dollar dynasty, what would happen if two or more came forward? What does it do to a man to spend decades suppressing the truth of his own bloodline? The psychological toll of such a double life can't be underestimated. Jay-Z has spent years building walls of denial, legal maneuvers, and legal deflections, but each layer only tightens the pressure inside. Carrying the weight of secrets for so long corrodes even the sharpest minds. We can see it in his courtroom eruption, in the cracks of anger that replaced his usual calm. A man who once thrived on control now finds himself unraveling under the very lies he swore would protect him. It raises the question, has the empire he built always been shadowed by the silent burden of living a lie?
What's up, what's up? This is Beyonce on the red carpet with one of the hottest female artists out here, Miss Aaliyah. How you doing, girl? It's so good to see you. You too.
And then there's Beyonce, caught between loyalty and disillusionment. Imagine the strain of smiling for cameras, of performing flawless perfection on stage while knowing that the very foundation of her marriage is fractured. The queen of composure, the woman whose art is built on themes of power and resilience, has had to live with the knowledge of cracks beneath the surface. The psychological toll of silence can be as heavy as betrayal itself. Each red carpet appearance, each family photo becomes a performance layered over private storms, and that dual existence chips away at trust until even the most regal facade begins to tremble. For Rymir, the emotional cost has been different, but just as devastating. From childhood into adulthood, he lived with whispers, with the absence of acknowledgement that shapes identity itself. To grow up knowing, or being told, that the man celebrated as a global icon is your father, while simultaneously being denied recognition, creates a wound that no settlement or press release can heal. His fight for acknowledgement has not been about fortune, but about selfhood. The years of rejection, the dismissals, the courtrooms, all point to a young man who has lived much of his life chasing not money, but legitimacy. That hunger for belonging leaves scars that fame and headlines cannot erase.
There are people who did short sales on their stocks right after that, made a lot of money, including Sean Carter. Now I'm going to ask you, why would non-disclosure agreements need to be signed for an accident?
Secrets like these do not exist in a vacuum. They ripple through every interaction, every relationship, every choice. For Jay-Z, the relentless need to guard the truth may have shaped his business instincts, his obsession with control, his mistrust of outsiders. For Beyonce, the need to maintain image at any cost may explain her meticulous perfectionism, her near silence outside carefully controlled artistry. For Rymir, the lifelong battle may explain his pursuit of music itself, a search to carve his identity in the same world his alleged father dominates. The lie, in its own way, has become the defining force of all their lives. Psychologists often say that carrying a lie becomes heavier with time, because it multiplies. Each concealment demands another, each silence deepens the fracture. What begins as one denial evolves into a labyrinth of cover-ups, payouts, evasions, and emotional compromises. For the Carters, this web has stretched for decades. And the longer it's spun, the more dangerous it has become. The human mind is not designed to shoulder so much contradiction indefinitely. Eventually, the truth breaks through, and when it does, the collapse is as much internal as external.
Is it really a conspiracy if the same person keeps benefiting off the same kind of tragedy over and over?
This is why the scandal resonates so powerfully. It is not just the story of an empire in crisis, but of people, flawed, human, unraveling under the weight of deception. We are watching not only the collapse of a public image, but the private costs of living behind locked doors of silence. It is a tale of broken trust, fractured identities, and the toll secrets take when they stretch across decades. And now, with everything exposed, we must ask whether any of them, Jay-Z, Beyonce, or Rymir, will ever truly escape the shadow of those lies. This isn't just a scandal, it's a cautionary tale. Power can build empires, but lies can destroy them. Jay-Z's legacy is hanging in the balance. Beyonce's loyalty is under the microscope, and the empire they built together trembles with every new revelation. Will this be remembered as the scandal that ended it all, or as the storm the Carters somehow survived? What do you think? Can they weather this? Or are we watching history's most famous power couple implode before our eyes? Drop your thoughts in the comments, and until next time, stay sharp, stay curious, and never forget, truth always finds its way out.
Man. When, what they call him? Uncle Ron, the security guard, when he started speaking out and then all of a sudden he was gone, that would have been my first warning that these powerful people that are celebrities in our eyesight are doing, they doing some crazy stuff behind the scenes, undercover. Kim Porter is gone. It's too many people being gone without no reasons behind it. So if I was Rymir, I would just fight my fight in the court systems. I wouldn't be coming on these. Man, then he said that they tried to frame him and somebody put a gun in his car. Then they said somebody tried to shoot up his car. All this stuff, man. And I'm just like, simple. Why he can't just take the test? I mean, I'm looking at it like this. Forget Jay-Z. How can it be that a person can decide, no, I ain't taking the test, and that's all that's going to be said and done? How can a person decide that? I don't care who it is. I don't care if somebody is pointing the finger at a president and they got proof or a timeline or some type of way that you and the mother had some type of relationship, closeness, or anything that this could have happened. I don't know, man. This is oh my. Then you got a female that's out there saying the same thing. Especially with Rymir, they look alike. Jay-Z ain't but so many people look like you. The teeth, y'all see it's a video out with they show Rymir's teeth and Jay-Z teeth, and they put them together like this. And his choice was something like this. You couldn't even hey man, let me get on up out of here. Hey, y'all take it light, take it slow. Tell him Uncle Mike told you so. Peace out.